Hi everyone! Today we are going to share with you about persuasive speech. What is it? According to Osborne and Osborne 1997, persuasive speech is the art of convincing others to give favorable attention to our point of view. In persuasive speech, the speaker's intention is to influence the listener to think or behave in a particular way. It functions to convince the audience on certain beliefs or attitude. Not only that, persuasive speech also attempting to reinforce action of the listener. This is called speeches to actuate. It means that the speakers want you to take action after they have done their speech. For example, sellers would do their best to persuade you about their products, while hoping that you will buy the products after they have done their talks. However, in order to make your speech is convincing enough, do follow some strategies to make you successful in delivering speech. The question is, what are they?
In order to offer a persuasive speech, we must decide precisely what it is. We want to talk about to whom we will be speaking and to what ends we hope the speech will lead. When we want to choose a topic for our persuasive speech, then we have to consider whether our topic is related with which deals, so that we can sure that we use a good method to persuade our audience. The first is the persuasive topic deal with question of facts, where we as the speaker want to persuade the audience to accept the speaker's view of the facts on that particular issues. Next is the persuasive speech deal with question of values. When the speaker deal with question of values, they need to justify the value judgment in light of a clearly defined set of standards. And the last is policies, where a speaker seeks to gain passive agreement that a policy is a desirable, necessary, and practical, or want to motivate the audience to take immediate action. So if we want to choose a persuasive topic, we have to identify whether it is related with which deals first, so that we can deliver the topic and persuade the audience smoothly.
After choosing the topic that is best suited for the type of persuasive speech that we are going to deliver, it is best for us to anticipate the type of audience that we are going to deliver the speech to. The first ones are receptive audiences. What is a receptive audience? In simple words, receptive audiences are those people that already have a gist of the concepts that you are going to bring into your speech. They might have knowledge about the topics of your speech, and they are most likely to welcome to what you have to say. So, what we can do to persuade these types of audiences are: number one, you should highlight the things that both you and they are seeking in common. As Benjamin Franklin once said, if you would persuade, you must appeal to interest rather than intellect. The next thing you can do to persuade receptive audiences is by giving them take-home messages. This will encourage your audience to be more convinced of your speech and realize the importance of the issue that you are delivering in your presentation. Next, the second type of audiences are neutral audiences. When addressing your speech to neutral audiences, you must keep a mental note that they might not be passionate about the topic that you are going to present. So the likely causes are that whether they do not have enough information regarding the topic, or because they themselves are not aware that they should be concerned about the topic. So what you can do to persuade them is by giving analogy, story, or statistics that they can relate to. The third type of audiences are hostile audiences. Now, these hostile audiences are the ones that are resistant and opposing to your proposition. Bear in mind that when it comes to hostile audiences, your main aim is to persuade them to at least hear what you have to say. If you succeed in making them listen to your speech, then there is the slightest chance that they might have changed their firm mindset into accepting your proposal. Also, the most important step in persuading hostile audiences is that you must acknowledge their opposing position.
In addition to understanding how your audience feels about the topic you are addressing, you need to have strategies to help them see you as credible and interesting speaker, which is ethos, logos, and pathos. Firstly, ethos. Ethos is a Greek term that means ethnic and ethical. Aristotle believed that the audience perception of you as a speaker is influential in determining whether or not they will choose you to accept your proposition. He taught speakers to establish credibility with the audience by appearing to have good moral character, common sense, and concerns for the audience well-being. To enhance your ethos and persuading the audience, use sound arguments. In a persuasive speech, the arguments will focus on the reasons for supporting your specific purpose statement. This argumentative approach is what Aristotle referred to as logos, or the logical means of proving an argument. These basic arguments tend to share three common elements, which is claim, data, and warrant. We have focused on logical reasoning, but we must also recognize the strong role that emotion play in the persuasive process. This element is called as pathos. One of the most helpful strategies in appealing to your audience emotion is to use clear examples that illustrate your point that can be crafted verbally, non-verbally, and visually.
Next, in order to have effective persuasive speeches on questions of policy, we have 4 patterns of organization. The first pattern is problem-solution order. The main point shows the need for a new policy by proving the existence of a serious problem and presents a plan for solving the problem and demonstrate its practicality. The second pattern is problem-cause-solution order. First, show the existence of a problem. Second, analyze the cause of the problem. Third, present the solution to the problem. So what's next? Third, pattern comparative advantage order. This pattern of organization is most effective when the audience already agrees there is a need for a new policy. Rather than dwelling on the need, the speaker devotes each main point to explain why his or her plan is preferable to other solutions. We move to the fourth pattern, which is Monroe's motivated sequence, consists of 5 steps for the psychology of persuasion. What is Monroe's motivated sequence? It is developed by American psychologist Alan Monroe in the mid-1930s. Monroe's motivated sequence is a 5-step speech outline that aims to inspire or persuade the audience to take action.
Assalamualaikum and greetings, my friends. Now, lend me your eyes and ears again, my dear audiences. We are about to go through regarding the 5 Monroe's motivated sequences steps together. First, we need to get the attention of the audience. We need to create a narrative that illustrates the problem in detail. Secondly, we need to establish the need. We need to prove that the problem exists in the status quo by providing facts, by providing examples, by providing stories. Thirdly, we need to satisfy the need. We need to tell the audience on what plan do we have in order for us to solve the problem. Fourth, we need to visualize the consequences. We need to go back to the narrative and change the story to reflect on what will happen if the audience take on the plan together with us. And lastly, the fifth one, we need to call them to action. We need to tell the audience what they can do to take on the plan, what immediate action they can do after listening to our speech.